Hey, friend, welcome back to the Fit Soul podcast and YouTube, wherever you're consuming this content. I am really excited to share. I've had some breakthroughs in my life, and it was some mindset shifts that I was able to finally get to some root causes of some of my struggles. And I feel like this could be a breakthrough for you too. I know I've been sharing it a little bit in my Walk Worthy Mentorship, and they've been grateful to get this information. So I'm dying to share this with you today. So welcome back to the podcast, or if you're brand new, hey, I'm so glad you're here. But here's what I want to ask you. What if I told you the very thing you think is protecting you is actually keeping you stuck? In midlife and beyond, in this second half of life, it is such a sacred space and time in our lives. But so many people are still stuck. They're playing small, they're holding back, they think they're too old, they think it's too late, they're hiding behind I'm fine, I'm fine. I don't know if you can relate with that. Probably you can, right? So this episode today is not I want to help maybe make some connections for you and name some of the silent strategies that could be sabotaging your impact. Because here's a truth bomb right here. You can't walk in your purpose and hide at the same time. Bam, mic drop right there. Let me repeat that one more time. And you may want to write this down. You cannot walk in your purpose and hide at the same time. Nope, you cannot. So, what I want to share with you is kind of uncovering some truths. We have been talking about how to stop striving and start thriving. What is it how do we stop the cycles of always doing, always performing, proving, striving, hustling in whatever capacity it is in our lives, and just really sink into that place of that thriving life. So, in the last episode, on my last podcast, episode number 123, I really went pretty deep and broke down some big shifts that I've been having with the place of understanding how I was making in my mind, like I was able to get to root causes. And in my mind, somehow or another, the idea of not enough time kept me in this hustle and striving. Oh my gosh, I've got to hurry and do this. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. Like I love abundance. And when I started to realize, oh, wait. That's a scarcity mindset around time. God holds time. There's plenty of time. There's enough. So I really broke that down. And if you haven't heard that episode, I would definitely go back and listen to that episode 123. Today, we're kind of playing on that. We're just going to take it from a different angle. I'm not going to talk so much about scarcity versus abundance, but what I do want to talk about is self focus to purpose, how to shift from a place of self-focused to a place of other focused. And we're going to talk about what does self-protection mean and how can that maybe even be showing up in your life. So a couple of ways that you can think about self-protection. All right, are you ready? Is I don't want to put myself out there. I might fail. It's like we hit this midlife and beyond stage, and it's a whole new world. So many of our roles and responsibilities that had defined us for so long have absolutely shifted and changed. And now it's a new time and a new space. And so we might feel inadequate, or we haven't skilled up enough yet, or we just don't, we haven't been keeping up with all of the latest oh my gosh, technology is changing so fast, and so many things are changing so fast. And so we just feel super behind. And so we don't want to put ourselves out there at all because we might fail. Or it might look like if I just stay kind of small or play kind of small or kind of be quiet, then I won't rock the boat and nobody can really judge me, right? I don't want to, if I stay this small, I won't be judged, or I'm fine. I don't need help. There's something about just feeling like that maybe asking for help is wrong and that we should look, shoulda, coulda, woulda. We should be competent enough to do that at this stage in our life. And maybe we're not. And so we feel a struggle there. Here's a few more is like, what if I'm not enough? And what if I'm not enough? So then, therefore, I'm not going to move forward and activate on whatever that is. And so I go back to protecting myself, avoiding any type of being vulnerable or any type of exposure feels unbelievably frightening. Therefore, let me play safe. This is self protecting. We all do it. Self protection. Listen, I am stepping all over my toes. If you listen to this or are watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to tell you right now, girl, it is for both of us. I'm stepping all over my toes, but I truly, truly, truly believe to the core of everything that I am, there's so much freedom. If you can make some connections, this could help you get to some root issues. Because here's another one, hiding behind busyness, the badge of busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. Like this makes you feel important. It makes you feel like you're, you're earning your worth some way, somehow. I'm busy. Or perfection. Like everything's got to be just perfect. The appearance has to look certain ways. I want to share a quick little story with you. I think so much of this can show up in ways like we hear that, oh, the badge of busyness or perfection. And oh, yeah, but we know it's progress over perfection. But what, where might it be in our own lives? We're often blinded to our own faults. I had the privilege of having a friend over last week, and I'm recovering from some surgery, and we happened to have a party at my house for one of my husband's employees that's no longer very dear, no longer going to be on his team. So we had to go an away party, and I'm recovering from surgery, so I'm very limited in what I could do. So I called my friend. I'm like, hey, can you help me get ready for this party? It's simple tasks, but I need some help. She's like, absolutely. So it was really interesting for me to delegate tasks that I could do, but I wasn't physically able to do. And there was a time crunch that she had. So I was like, okay, so she helped me set the table. She helped me, she arranged some flowers. She helped me get some of my spring stuff out and, get set up, a little bit of wiping down things here and there and pulling out some, serving dishes and kind of getting it set up. Okay. What was really interesting in my mind, what was just a simple party, not a big deal. Let's go grab this. In my mind, what was regular to do, she was like, no, don't do that. That's too much. Nobody cares. I'm like, what? Really? Okay. And then I mentioned, okay, let's move this and let's add this. I can't remember what it was. And she was like, no, nobody cares. And the reality is she and I were both running out of time. Like we needed to wrap it up. Neither one of us had all day long. But what I was just casually, quote unquote, having this party was perfectionism. And it was so great because I had someone else to be able to say, yeah, no, you don't need to do that. And she didn't say, oh, this is perfectionism. She was like, no, just keep it easy, keep it simple. Nobody cares about that. I was like, oh my gosh, this again is that busyness. This is that perfection. It shows up in so many different ways for us. Here's an interesting quote is fear often dresses itself up as wisdom, especially in women who've been burned before. Isn't that interesting? Fear sometimes looks like wisdom in our lives. But when we're able to like go, wait a minute, I can live from this operating system of fear or love. In God's economy, we live from love and we can, but fear sabotages us. Fear slows us down. Imperfect love cast out all fear, but the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And so like there's this banner of fear. So it's like this constant battle. Like, how do we break free of the fear and live out of love? It's kind of like putting, we're called to things. God's calling us to things. And the more we can get freed up, the more we can get freed from self-protection, the more we can get freed from any banner of fear, of scarcity, of some of these other things that I'm about to share with you, is the more we can walk fully alive, fully in our calling, fully in our purpose. Listen, this is the whole walk worthy mission. This is that whole thing. Walk worthy of the calling for which you are called. But it's kind of like when you're playing it safe and you don't put yourself out there because what are other people going to think? I might be judged. I don't know how to do it. I feel inadequate. It's just safer. When we start to actually, when we're able to go, okay, wait a minute, this is self-protection. It it's keeping me safe, but it's sabotage. Okay. And it's kind of like putting your calling in a Tupperware container and sealing it really, really, really tight so nothing spills. It's safe, but it's also useless. It's also useless. There is a toll of playing small. There is a hidden cost that you will pay. When you shrink, you're going to miss divine appointments. When you're playing small, you will disconnect from meaningful community and not show up authentically, not show up in transparency. You've always got to protect yourself. It also, by playing small and shrinking, it delays the healing and restoration process. So much of our healing and us walking out and that fully alive, that thriving is such a process. And so much of it takes place in community. So here's the thing. Sometimes silence isn't surrender, it's sabotage. I know that there was a time in my life where I was walking through some of what I'm sharing with you now, but without words. Do you know how when you're going through life, oftentimes you don't have like vocabulary around what's going on in your heart and soul, but you feel it. And I remember so clearly I had a kind of an epiphany. One night I was talking to a friend and she was sharing with me some struggles that she had had and how she walked through that. And she's come out of it on the other side. And I remember thinking, I had one of those aha moments. You know what I'm talking about? I had an aha moment that helped me realize that if I didn't actually start standing up and using my voice and speaking what I wanted to do and what I felt called to do, that I was going to live with a ton of regret. And it required every bit of courage that I had to start stepping up, to start using my voice. And I want you to hear this if you struggle, if you struggle with thinking, okay, and maybe you're not even thinking, I'm scared to speak up because it'll rock the boat with my boss or my spouse or my family members or my friends. Like, I don't want to step up. I don't want to like share authentically myself. I want you to hear this. You authentically yourself is beautiful. And I want to say what I said just a minute ago. Silence isn't surrender, it's self-sabotage. And you might be like me. It took all of the courage I had to learn how to start using my voice. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you. He just has to convince you to mute yourself. Man, that one hurts, right? Um, Philippians 2:3 says, true humility lifts others, but it doesn't disappear. When we start talking about this, I feel like I don't even need to preface this with, oh, be careful of what you say. I have met too many women over and over and over again who are just scared to use their voice, or they don't think their voice is significant. I struggle with it still to this day. We are on episode number, what is this? Did I say 124? Episode number 124 of this podcast. I coach a large group of women. I am a speaker. I am actually right now, it kind of makes me a little nervous to say this, but I'm writing my first book to get into publication, and I still struggle. Does anybody want to hear my voice? Does anybody want to hear what I say? This is the enemy. The enemy is like, no, let me keep her silent. Again, it's safer if we self protect, right? So, what I want to invite you to is that your midlife and beyond is a launching pad. It is a divine invitation for you to step into the fullness of your beautiful creation, of the way the Father made you. It is a divine activation waiting for you on the other side, but it's going to require some vulnerability. And you're not too late. No, girl, no. You are right on time. If God didn't have a plan for you, for your voice in this season, you just wouldn't still be here. That's just the way that is. But every single day you wake up and you have breath, there's a purpose for you. There's a plan for you. As Gabby used to always say, God has a plan and his plan is good. And when I am looking at it like that, and I understand that all of this, my life here is meant, and my own healing process is meant so I can live in my true identity and go and use this voice as a vessel, use this voice to encourage other people. I love that Hebrews 10:24 says, let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. I can't do that if I'm not using my voice. I can't do that if I'm not using my spiritual gifts. I can't do that as well if I am too scared to get out there. The world needs more people to step up. Girl, the world needs you to step. So I want to ask you, where can you step up? Where have you been shrinking back, playing small, worried about what other people are going to think, worried about the approval of men as opposed to the approval of God? If there's so much here, there's so much freedom on the other side. And here's what I want to share with you. Here's where I want to encourage you is just to have that awareness around this and to understand that you are called and created for this particular season of your life and that God has a plan and a purpose for it. And so what I want to ask you is, where have you been shrinking or silencing yourself to be safe? What fear might you be calling wisdom? And it might just be avoidance. I know that's a tough question. It's a fair one though, right? So here's what I want to activate you, baby. What would be one brave thing you feel like God is nudging you to say or do this week? What would be one thing it's going to require you to be courageous, to step out? Maybe it's to speak to somebody or to take an action. So what I want to share with you is that there is a plan and there's purpose. And the more that you can start to realize and recognize, just kind of like I did with that whole scarcity abundance, I was like, well, I didn't think that I had some scarcity mindset. I was like, oh my gosh. But when I did, now I can look at like how my perspective and go, okay, God's got this. Let's walk in abundance. Oh my goodness. Can I tell you, I have so much more peace. When I'm able to look at with this perspective of maybe I'm self-protecting, self-protecting here. And so I'm shrinking, I'm hiding, I'm playing small. And it almost, when I started to really make the connections with the places I felt that, typically there was like some victim mentality and some different mindsets where I would kind of feel like, well, I just said a victim. And so self-protection felt safer, kind of disguised as wisdom. I hope this has been helpful for you. And what I would love for you to do is to take a step, move forward, um, do the hard thing, be courageous. Be strong. If you're struggling, I want you to know, like, join a group, get an accountability partner, get a small group. I have a group of women that are moving forward, and it's called the Walk Worthy Mentorship. And this is a lot of the teachings that you're hearing here. We focus on that, but like the activation plan and the regular coaching to help move forward. So I want to encourage you, keep going, keep moving forward, make those connections here, of self-protection, and let's move forward out of it, because God wants you to take it off. Because here's the thing, He wants you to move from that to purpose. Any type of self-protection or self-promotion is self. And God's like, let's focus on others. Okay. Well, thank you for being here today. I would love for you to do me a couple of things. Would you download this? It's so simple, but your downloads actually really, really matter. And would you share this episode with somebody else? I would appreciate it so much. All right, my friend, have an incredible day and go walk worthy, live fully alive, thrive, be everything that God is calling you to be. I am cheering you on.